Uja presents Chapersonality. Uja, mwah!
Welcome to Chapersonality. Today we're going to talk to a famous costume designer, Cathy Pope, who's doing something great for the community. So let's welcome Cathy on our show today. Hi Cathy, welcome to Chapersonality. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good. Well, thank you for coming onto our show. First of all, tell us, what do you do and how did you happen to go to India recently? Tell us a bit about your experience of going to India.
Well, that's a good question. I'm a costume designer. I work in film and television, and for years I've been really intrigued by Indian culture and saris and shalwar kameezes and, Indian costume. And I worked on a film a couple of years ago called Apron Strings that my friend Sher co-wrote, and that sort of gave me a taste for India. And then I also did a comedy series. I designed the costumes for 1,000 Apologies about a year and a half ago. So that really just started intriguing me about India. And also, Shuchi is such a great advocate of her country and really got me excited. I went to Gujarat to a place called Kutch, where Shuchi's friend Danraj Malik runs a safari park, and she said to me, whatever you do when you go to India, you have to go and see my friend Danraj. And so I went there, and he said, look, would you like to come and meet the girls at the orphanage that I run as well?
How was your experience of spending your time at the orphanage?
They touched my heart, and it really made me realise how difficult life is if you live in poverty in India, and made me feel incredibly blessed about my life in New Zealand. And when he told me some of the stories of these young girls who he was trying to empower and give them hope for their future, I thought I've got to do something to help. And there were some girls who, one girl had cerebral palsy. She'd been sold by her parents to pay a family debt when she was 10 years old, and she was sold as a cook and cleaner to an old lady. And she'd found her way to the orphanage, and she was a really great sewer, and because he's teaching them sewing and tailoring, which was what I did, I ended up teaching sewing to the girls because that's my trade. Other girls, there were two sisters who their father had died and their mother had hung herself in front of them, and it was 4 hours until someone came to find them. And stories like that were just horrifying. It was just staring me right in the face, the fact that life is really difficult, and they've found an alternative and they're happy. The little sister went mute after that happened and doesn't talk anymore, and the older sister, when she entered the orphanage, she was biting everybody, and now they're happy. They're really happy children. And yeah, stories like that are just the reality of life there.
Well, you certainly did gain a lot from this experience, and I'm sure the experience was an experience of a lifetime. It'll stay with you always. You've come back, but you're kind of still connected to India, and you still want to do something for those children at the orphanage, and that's why you've planned a fundraising event. Tell us about the event.
Well, when I left India after spending time at the orphanage, I just couldn't stop thinking about it, and my mind was just ticking, and all of a sudden it was like all these sort of random ideas kept coming to mind, and I thought, I have such a great network of friends, people in the media, people who are in the film industry and graphic designers and things, and I all of a sudden just started putting a jigsaw together. And so I decided to talk to Shuchi about Firaaq, because the fantastic thing about that film was that it's set in Gujarat, and it's based on the riots of 2002 between the Muslims and Hindus. So I asked her if that was going to be coming back from the film festival to be played on mainstream theatres, and she said no. So we got permission to screen it, and then once that had happened, everything else just sort of fell into place. And I thought, if I run this film fundraising evening I'd sell the tickets for $25 each. If I sell 396 of them, which is what fills the theatre, basically I can raise $10,000, which would keep the orphanage going for 1 year. And I realised that even though it was quite a massive undertaking, it was something that I could do. Yeah. So that's how it sort of happened.
Tune in again next week to see rest of the interview of Cathy. But before that, let's see the trailer of the film Firaaq, which Cathy has been planning to screen.
यहाँ 10 मील के दायरे में एक मुसलमान नहीं बचा।
सीधा पाकिस्तान पहुंची जाओ।
तुझे कभी किसी काम के लिए अपना नाम बदलना पड़ा?
मेरी गली में अंधेरा ही अंधेरा है। आज की रात चरागों की लौची कर लो।
शुक्र है तो भूतनी जान।
सिर्फ 7 सुरों में इतनी काबिलियत कहाँ के ऐसी नफरत का सामना कर सकें।
गुंडों को क्यों पकड़ते जिन्हें हमारे घर को जलाया? तुम समीर अरशद शेख हो और ये बात कहीं बदलने वाली नहीं है।
मेरा नाम मोहन है, मोहसिन है।
मार डालूंगा सबको।